Hello again, friends and loyal WulffPack members. Chaos here, welcome back to Elite Dangerous. Today we are going to be taking a look at one of the newest customization kits in the game, and that is going to be for this ship, the Type 6. Now, I've already seen a few bits on this, and I've got to say, I find this absolutely hilarious. I'll be honest, I've already dubbed this kit the Midlife Crisis kit. So, without further ado, let's go and start by having a look at the spoilers. As you can probably already see what I mean by this. Just look at the size of those fins. I mean, look at that. Wow. Holy crud. That thing is huge. Well, those are huge. They are redonkulous. Let's just go and have a look close up, shall we? I mean, just look at those things. They are absolutely huge. What? So I can't help it. They're just redonkulous, completely and utterly. Now, they do seem to go with the... If you can have a look here, they do seem to fit with the lines of the ship, funnily enough. It does seem like they've had a bit of extra thought put into these ones. So this is kind of interesting. Moving on to the second spoiler. These seem a little bit more understated from the graphic. Let's have a look. Yes, they do, but it still makes the ship look like an old... Cadillac. It does, doesn't it? Oh, boy. I mean, getting a closer look at these things, you can see there is a little bit of clippage. Not a massive amount, but they are... I do find them rather amusing. And yeah, let's turn our Type 6 into an old Cadillac. Yeah, why the hell not? Next is going to be spoiler 3, and that... Yep, okay. That is a bit redonkulous as well. That's almost like a cross between the previous two. I didn't notice this from the main livery screen, but they do actually cross over the heat vents at the rear. So that's interesting. Not much glow off of them, but then again I suppose that might change once we get the new lighting engine next season. And now the last one, and now the last of the spoilers. Again, this one is probably it looks completely ridiculous from here, but let's put it on and have a look. Yeah, yep. Okay, am I the only one getting a Fast and the Furious vibe right now? I mean, just look at this thing. It is humongous. The part on the fins on the top, adding something there. But this is the granddaddy of everything. That is absolutely ridiculous. I know a lot of people are going, oh, spoilers in space. What's the point in that? But don't forget, these ships are rated for atmosphere, at least most of them, at least. So yeah, I don't know how much sense it would make. It really depends on your headcanon. But I've got to say, it looks hilarious. And I don't think many people in the 34th century, I think this is, I don't think they really care about things like aerodynamics. They just want things to look flashy, I suspect. So that was it for all the spoilers. Let's move on to the wings. And I am really looking forward to seeing what we find here. Now, these look a bit understated. At least I hope they are. First one, let's have a look. Okay, just a little fin towards the rear, it would seem. Yeah, okay, so lower fins towards the rear. Let's get a bit of a closer look. And yes, we can see them right here, just fins towards the lower end of the ship. Let's bring ourselves underneath, see if there's anything underneath that we can need to see. Not really. But it's not bad, actually. It's adding something to a Type 6, which I really not sure it really needs. But, yeah, sure, okay. So, from part 1, let's move over to part 2. Oh, right, okay. So, that's interesting. Just some kind of side pods. Just filling out a little bit more visual weight on the side, making it look a little bit more like a keelback, at least towards that way. Oh, when I'm saying weight, I'm on about visual weight. This does not add any weight at all to your ship. It's purely visual. And here we are. Just look at that. Oh, that's interesting. Looks like it's almost like it was part of the ship from the beginning. It covers over those side sections, which make it almost look like you're looking into the inners of the ship. Okay, so that was wing 2. Moving on to wing 3. Okay, right, yeah, even bigger wings. And here we go. They are a lot larger, in fact, than I originally imagined they would be. I've got to say, it makes the Type 6 look a little bit different, kind of like Type 6 a la Asp Scout, maybe? I do like the extra detailing of the pipes on the top. That does fit fairly well with this whole thing, and that's the bit I was talking about in the previous part. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. And again, I know I say interesting a lot, we're going to have to deal with it. Moving on from part 3 over to part 4. And okay, so last one was Type 6 a la Asp Scout. This is now Type 6 a la Ferdinand, maybe? And you can see it here. It does, in fact, look very Ferdinand-y to my eyes. So, yeah, very, very interesting. Again, it seems to flow a little bit around the... Well, I'll say flow. It seems to follow the lines of the ship. There's no... I haven't really seen any major clippage this time around. And now for the last section, we are moving on to the bumpers. Now, I'm rather curious as to what these are going to look like. Because, in fact, to be perfectly honest, some of these look really fairly interesting. Although, 2 of them look like just kind of swap arounds of each other. So, first one is going to be bumper 1. Okay. So we are getting the sensor arrays at the bottom. And what looks like, I don't know, maybe some more sensors up the top or something? I'm not quite sure. And basically part 2 just looks like a flip of these 2. So let's just have a look at that here. As you can see there, it is literally just them being flipped the opposite way around. Now this way around, this looks a little bit more kind of gunship. It almost looks like these should be weapons, but they're not. So that is kind of interesting. Out of the 2, I've got to say, I prefer this one. I'm not going to take a close look at both of them because they're basically the same thing, just rotated 180 degrees. Right, so with our close-up look, we can see that these do in fact clip, not exactly clip, but they don't follow the lines quite as well as they could do. I think they'd have probably looked a little bit better had they been extended out another 10% or so, so then we wouldn't have that little weird following, just so that the oval shape outside would actually not be broken at all. Other than that, I've got no gripes at all. And the sensor banks at the bottom, they look kind of cool. They are not 100%... In fact, they're not... Alright, okay, cool. I was expecting these to be mirrored on both sides, but they're not, which gives this a little bit more of a believable quality to it, I've got to say. Moving on to bumper 3, and that is... Okay, even more wings. Frontier, I think you're trying to break me. And as we can see, those wings do actually follow the lines of the ship, and they do go a lot further, they do extend further back than I was expecting. Nothing overly noteworthy about them, I don't think. But they're not bad. They're not terrible, I've got to say. And moving on to the last part, that is going to be bumper 4. Okay, that's it. That's it, I'm done. Alright, okay, with all seriousness, that... Even more wings. Oh boy, okay. Alright, well, in a way I can kind of see where this is coming from, because this ship is theoretically atmospheric rated. So this could theoretically make it more aerodynamic, I don't know. But again, having a closer look, the top of these fins does seem to extend further back than at first thought. And the bottom fin is a bit smaller than I was expecting, actually. So that's, again, for lack of a better word, interesting. The only minor issue I have is that this fin at the top doesn't quite follow the edge line here. But then again, at this particular angle, I'm kind of not surprised, because it'd be a bit, you'd have to change, you'd have to fold the wing down, not rotate the wing out ever so slightly. So, yeah, okay, minor niggle there, but that's about it. So now, I suppose it's about time to have a look at this fully put together, how I think would have it is a bit strong, but why? The best way of putting it together that I like. Now, there is one thing I have to point out about this kit that I'm not particularly happy with at all, and that is how it interacts with paint jobs. As you can see here, we've got a lovely, nice singular colour for the sensor array here, which is fine. We've also got the pods on the side, which, spoiler, is this kind of roughly how I want to have this look. The only downside I can see with this is that, just watch the sensor, because these end sections here, I would normally expect these to stay metal coloured. Yet they don't. Whatever colour I put on the ship, they change to that colour exactly. Sometimes that's not a massive problem, sometimes that's just really looking weird. So bear that in mind if you are going to be getting yourself this kit and you're going to be using this particular piece. If we were using the fins, it would be less of an issue. It just bugs me, as you can see. Alrighty, so here we go. This is roughly how I've got to say, I'm not sure saying I like this is the right thing to say. I do like certain parts of it, like I do enjoy the modules added to the side, covering over the ship's innards almost. The fins and spoilers on this, not quite so much, but I also do like the addition of the sensors and so on the front. So theoretically, I suppose I could be quite happy with this with just the wings and the bumper mod, just not the spoiler. But this is as close as I can get it whilst using all the parts to be being happy with it. But at the end of the day, it's not really about what I think about this kit, it's what you guys think about it that matters. Let me know down in the comments and I'll do my level best to get back to as many of you as I can. But that is going to be it for this video. I do hope you guys have enjoyed it. Like the video if you've liked it, dislike it if you didn't. Neither of those good enough for you, that's what the comments are for. I've been Commander Chaos Wolf from Sci-Fi Gaming. You guys, as always, have been epic. I will see you soon. And until next time, my fellow commanders, keep flying and stay shining.